be. Maradona. The first free kick for the challenge on him. And it will be very interesting to see whether Maradona is prepared, as he suggested then, to run at the South Koreans. That's what happened, you'll remember, in 1966 with the North Koreans, when suddenly Eusebio decided, away with tactics, I'm just going to run at them. And he did so to great effect to save a match when they were 3-0 down. And they went to the semi-finals at 5-3. This is South Korea playing in their second World Cup, the previous one being in 1954. And Maradona.
Maradona in possession again, showing his tremendous skill, and once again hacked down. The Argentinians appealing that this should be a yellow card. The referee telling the Korean defenders that they have to tackle fairly and go for the ball and not the man. And Argentina, of course, concerned about Maradona's knee. There are many who feel that he should have had an operation on this knee, which is somewhat suspect. He has decided, wisely or not, we shall see perhaps in a moment, to delay the operation because of his desire to play in this World Cup competition, and therefore the defenders certainly going in hard because they realize the great threat that Maradona poses. Here we see him coming through, and no attempt whatsoever to play that ball. That deserved a yellow card without question. We remind you that we are bringing you this game from the Olympic Stadium in Mexico City, Argentina versus South Korea, because there have been electrical problems in Irapuato and no pictures coming from that venue where the Soviet Union are playing Hungary. So we will do our best to bring you this backup game as we see the ministering to Maradona and we see the reason for him having to have that treatment. No attempt whatsoever by the Korean defender to play that ball. The referee being very lenient at this point. This cannot surely go on if these superstars are to remain healthy throughout these competitions. They're so important to their teams, but of course they are marked men by the defenders. And the South Koreans not noted for their viciousness and their professional fouling, certainly, and one cannot condone this sort of behavior. Trying to bend it round the wall, not succeeding, but Argentina in possession. A big chance now for a shot, and it's there. Certainly capitalizing, number 11 for Argentina, Jorge, Alberto Valdano Jorge, puts Argentina ahead as a result of play which followed the set play following Maradona's foul. Here we see it again.
The Koreans had all overplayed the free kick by Maradona and were cut when he headed the ball back in. It was a tremendous shot.
And switching play to try to stretch this Korean defense. Another threat down the wing, the cross immediately over, but the Korean defense able to handle that ball and kick it clear. Whiskey looking for support, finding none and putting it back to the supporting midfield. Batista swinging it about. Maradona, ever the general, seeing a man free on the left side. Here comes the cross. Argentina beginning to exert their overwhelming power in this game, in this early stage, buoyed by the
10 kilogram onder wat men bij ons het ideaal gewicht pleegt te noemen. Burruchaga tegen de paal. Ja, dus Van Naant en was de grote man al bij Independiente in 84 voor zijn overgang. En dat is toch wel wat, Maradona en daarachter nog een Burruchaga.
Back in the Olympic Stadium in Mexico City with 11 minutes gone in this game. Argentina ahead of South Korea, 1-0 with a goal by Jorge Valdano, following a set play which resulted from a vicious foul on Maradona. And here again, the target of the enthusiastic not in favor. Oh, and again, another, surely a yellow card this time, a clear-cut rugby tackle. That's the second occasion. The referee seems to be very content to pass this by with no more than a cautionary word. It cannot surely continue. This seems to me not to be the way to treat the great players in the game. if they're going to be constantly brought down.
I don't think that Korea can afford to keep giving away these free kicks to the Argentina scored off the last one.
And they...
En de goal. En het is Ruggeri. Ja, mooi hoor. Wel, hij is helemaal, zoals ik zei, de opvolger van Passarea. Passarea.
The area didn't work that time. Maradona trapping it on his chest and breaking away. Avoiding the tackles, this Argentinian goalkeeper. Sending the ball well upfield. Deep into the Korean half. Maradona again slipping it forward. Running for the return, but being intercepted. Now Maradona a chance to take his man on. Korean defense coming back very quickly to stifle the threat. Woo Young-moo of South Korea able to stifle that threat, but the result is a corner which Maradona himself will take. Argentina 2 goals ahead after 25 minutes as Maradona takes this corner. Doesn't find its target. Clausen moves it inside. And Argentina pushing it back to mark and mount their offense again.
Argentina is very comfortable in this game and they're just strolling. I think their biggest fear they got to be careful of is not to become too complacent and allow the Koreans back in the game, because right now it's definitely a one-sided game.
Giusti, Maradona out on the right, and there he is to receive that ball. Beats his man very, very easily. And another, but a little bit of...
The Argentine team here is just knocking the ball around at will, and Korea, of course, they've got the second half left to go, but they're going to have to start coming forward a little bit. At 2 goals down, they don't have a whole lot to lose.
It's away from that challenge. Took too much on, to no avail. Argentina now in possession. Maradona this time struck in the face, and I think at last we're going to see a yellow card. Yes, indeed. That's about the 6th foul on Maradona this half. And Young-moo gets the yellow card.
Maradona beat him well, nutmegged him, and then he just reached his arm out and just gave him a little tap in the face, I think. Maradona is the type of player I don't think you want to rush in on too fast. The man has so much talent that, you know, he can make you look a little foolish, and I think the Korean, just through the frustration, reached out to have a smack at him there.
Puccini there wasting that ball completely. There's the last attack, perhaps, or last attempted attack of the South Koreans in this half, as the seconds tick away. The referee's already checked his watch once. At any moment now, we're going to hear the whistle for the end of the first 45 minutes. Long, somewhat tentative ball, which Clausen tries to let it run. It won't, so he crosses it and very luckily gets a goal kick from it. We're almost a minute over the 45 minutes which has been allowed, but there's the whistle. The end of half-time with the score Argentina 2, South Korea 0. A rather unenterprising first half. Argentina.
So the goal down after 6 minutes. Really, it's up to them to chance their arm and show us what they can do. South Korea playing from left to right as we look. and the temperature out there in the middle is not too far away from 100 degrees. This is Brown, number 5, in the side in place of Passarella. It's been the sort of fixture that Argentina can happily do without their experienced player at the back, Daniel Passarella, because they've not been put under any real pressure at all. And it's our first view of Maradona in the second half, and Valdano makes it 3. All too easy, and that time he didn't stand on ceremony, he just tapped it away. But the goal made by one of the great players of world football, Diego Maradona. Change of pace, a lovely cross. The goalkeeper probably should have cut it out, and maybe one, if not 2, defenders. But it's Argentina 3, South Korea 0.
A great illustration there of this acceleration. Comes across the goal, and Valdano tapping it in from the sort of range that I think we'd all like to put them in. But again, a classic example is the acceleration. Also, he's using his right foot. Some say he's all left foot, but there he goes to the byline and whips it in with his right foot. And although you must look at the keeper, who did flap a little bit as it came across.
Keith Birkinshaw, in his time as manager of Bahrain, said of South Korea that every time they go out onto the field they seem to be having a birthday party. Well, their first match in the '86 World Cup, I'm afraid it's a party in which they're crying a bit. Clearance by Brown. This fixture, I remind you, in Group A, same group as Italy and Bulgaria, who drew in the opening fixture. And a rare opportunity for Pompidou, the Argentine goalkeeper, to get a feel of the ball. He hasn't seen much of it. South Korea have made a substitution, bringing on Byun Byung-ju for the 6'4" defender, who was given a midfield role and then a marking role, and not happy with either. Kim Young-se. Here's Maradona again. Giusti. Maradona. Dear, oh dear. The referee allows the advantage, or has he? No, he hasn't. He's given the free kick. Pity, really. It's the sort of situation the referee can never win. Diego Maradona, now 25 years old. He's had 4 years in the end. It's the third man really that they've chosen to get as close to Maradona as possible. The other two palpably failed. And maybe Park Yun-hung was taking the instructions a little too literally. Scully in the middle, Burushaga in possession, and still it's a corner. I'm wondering what the noise is in the background, as if you can hear it. The drummer accompanied by the bugler, both, would you believe, supporting Argentina. Ruzari's come up into the area again. Doesn't get the header this time, but Giusti did. It was only a yard or so away. Ricardo Giusti plays for Independiente. Again, the challengers. And it looks as though Batista is coming off. And I don't know what Trevor feels about it, but I feel it's just a little unfair, with all these difficult names from South Korea, that the Argentines should bring on a man who rejoices in the name of Ola Ticochea. But here is Valdano. No power in the shot, went for the side foot.